Yes, indeed.
Going well.
What's happening, my friend?
I have found my new one of my favorite shows.
A TV show, I'm assuming.
It is a TV show, that is correct. It is called The Lazarus Project.
Okay.
It is on Netflix. It does not look like it should be as good as it is, but it is as good as it is.
The Lazarus Project.
Yeah, oh no, it's starting to fall already. Oh,
And there we go.
stay. Okay, I think maybe that'll be better. Um,
I think I've
this thing
heard.
is glass. That's part of the problem, I think.
The what is
Put this
glass?
here. The table that it's sitting on is glass.
Ah. I think I've heard of this show, The Lazarus Project.
Yeah. Do you want me to tell you a little bit about the plot or
Sure. Tell the people I have some apple stuck in my teeth, so I'm gonna go take care of that real quick so the people don't
all right.
see it. But yeah, no, you won't be able to hear me, but I'll still be able to hear you.
Okay. So spoilers kind of for the Lazarus Project, but again, it's actually part of the conceit of the show, so how much of a spoiler is it for real? There's this guy and he finds out that there's a time machine that basically allows you to checkpoint things. So uh, hit a problem, they reset time. There's a machine that controls it. They reset time, and then you start back from the checkpoint. And he finds out about it because he has powers that allow him to remember the previous time loops.
Ah.
And that's basically the conceit of the show. But the thing that I love about it is they have so many very good things that they do in the show. It's very well written. The acting is great. Um, and
It's
it
been on
goes
for two
places
seasons
that
and then
are
abruptly canceled
surprising.
by Netflix, I'm sure.
Ben, you would be surprised to know that it does only have two seasons and has been canceled, but it was apparently put on by Sky, a British company,
Yeah.
so it may not be Netflix's fault, is what I would say. So yeah, there we go though.
There's no TV show I'm watching. I last night I had some TV watching time, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch that new Alien Earth TV show, and I couldn't find it. And the reason I couldn't find it is it doesn't come out for another week.
Ah, yeah,
But
I'd be
the
interested to see what
marketing
you think of it.
machine, yeah, the marketing machine is in full gear for Alien: Earth. Um,
Alien colon Earth.
I
Um,
But
yeah.
yeah, I saw something someone posted that they said Alien Earth is the Andor of the Alien Predator franchise.
Wow.
And for me
Of
that's a
the
pretty high
Alien
bar.
Predator franchise. Interesting.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I like Andor. But here's the other thing. I like the guy who does it, right? The guy who's
Noah
doing
Hawley.
Noah Hawley, the showrunner,
Yeah.
Fargo,
Fargo.
famously, and Legion, two of my favorite shows.
Have not
Um,
seen the Legion.
is it enough for me to re-get Hulu though, or am I just gonna
I
wait?
would wait because there is a thing that's happening where Disney is going to completely consume Hulu and they're going to get rid of the Hulu app. So I don't
Oh,
know if in the future that means you will only need to buy the Disney package and you will get Hulu automatically, or if you only get Hulu now, what's going to happen to your subscription when Disney takes over?
can I tell you that that's actually why I stopped Disney? It wasn't. I was looking. I was like, I gotta drop some of these things, and I didn't know which ones to drop. And I eventually dropped Hulu and Disney, and the reason that I dropped them was because their plans were too confusing.
Yeah.
Like I was I the logins that they had me on, like it was the same login, but the password was different in one, and if I tried to get the password back, I would get sent the password for the other. It was weird.
Yeah.
So I just canceled them.
I
And
don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do
yeah.
because like I pay for the whole Disney Hulu package, which includes ESPN Plus. I bet I've never used it.
Mhm.
And so if when Disney gets rid of Hulu, is my plan gonna decrease in price? Probably not.
Probably not. They just changed the plans for something. Oh, they changed plans for Peacock, which is again
Uh,
a completely different thing. So, all right. So here's where we're at as far as my I have I we've talked about this before, but I have YouTube on the TV, and
is
I
it
have
YouTube like Premium or YouTube TV or is
no,
it
I
like
just
an
have
ad
I just
free? Just
I
YouTube.
only watch YouTube on the television, and
Gotcha.
it's basically unwatchable
Yeah.
because I don't have any plans or anything.
Because so it's
Um,
littered with ads.
yeah, so it keeps me from watching it too often, which is useful. And then I have Reddit on my iPad,
Yeah.
so that I'm not constantly scrolling it. I have to actually, sit down. It's an intentional thing rather than any idle moment. Pick it up and start looking at it.
I'm not liking what my
Um,
hair's doing today. I just got out of
oh
the
no.
shower, so maybe that's why. But
Oh, I know that I was gonna say I know that I'm no spring chicken. Doesn't make any sense. I'm, but you look fine, Ben. I think
thank you,
no one
pal.
will have a problem.
I do have to go and
Here's interesting.
be in be around people later on, so I'm
Can
very
you
self
hold your
conscious
can
about
up for a second?
that. What did you say to me?
Can you hold your can up for a second?
Oh,
What did you think I said?
I thought you were telling me to shut up. I thought you said,
Oh,
"Can you just
hey,
can it for
hey,
a second?"
hold your can for a second,
I thought, "Can you just
buddy.
can it for a
Hey,
second?"
hey, Ben, shut up for a second. It'll
This
be great for the podcast. All
today's
right, so
show is brought to you by Waterloo Blackberry Lemonade.
when you were holding it, and this may not happen for the people at home. This is only maybe the color scheme that I have on my iPad right now. Whatever. When you lifted it up for a second, a brief second, I thought you were taking a drink out of a jar of Vaseline, and I was like, Ben, what on earth is happening?
It's been a
But
hard
it's
time, my man. A hard
exactly
time.
it's because the color scheme is just weird. It's a little yellowish on my iPad. So anyway, so the big thing is that I have been, looking at Reddit more often,
Yeah.
and I think the reason that I need to do it, or I need to do it, is because it really is what connects me to the outside world.
It
I
is the
don't,
front page of the internet.
yeah,
Is that
I
Reddit
do
or
not.
was that Fark or
Um,
no?
it could have been Fark.
What was that other one that went away and then came back?
4chan.
No, not 4chan.
I'm kidding, everyone.
It'll come to me.
Yeah. No, I don't know though.
It was a really popular aggregator. Right now,
I mean, it
Steven's
does
yelling at his
it
iPad right
it
now.
does sound like Reddit to me.
Yeah,
I think it might be.
what was before Reddit?
Nothing was before Reddit, Ben. What are you talking about?
They would appreciate that.
E-bombs world.
No, stumble upon. What?
Somethingawful.com.
I think it was another four-letter word, but I can't. Oh my god, this is gonna kill me.
Huh.
I'm gonna look it up. We keep it wrong
Speaking
here.
speaking of Steven, he noted that GPT-5 was going to be announced by
Yeah.
OpenAI today, and he gave the time that it was going to be and all that, and I um had a whole bunch of stuff that I was doing, and not listening to that was one of the things that was the easiest for me to accomplish. So I don't know anything about what happened. Did you, by any chance,
I
look at it?
have I have not paid attention at all.
Yeah, I don't. So I don't know what the benefits are, what the new thing is. I don't know any of that. And of course, for those of you listening, the concept that there are no benefits, get it, understand it. Still would like to hear what the people have said, because I feel like, and I know I'm going out on a limb here, Ben. I I don't think AI is going to go away. I think that it is a trend that will continue.
I'm hoping that it's like it won't go away, but it'll get to a point where it doesn't need to consume so many resources for it to run.
Yes.
I
I
think the
also
only way for it to go away is for like the entire global grid to go down.
I also feel like it's going to lose some of the shine, if this makes sense. Like email. No one cares that it's electronic mail anymore, right? It's just email. Same thing.
Dig.com.
Dig.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
That was
Ben.
that was what I was trying to remember. So, anyway,
I
I
forgot
can now
completely about
focus
Dig.
on what we're talking about.
Does Dig have two G's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
DIGG.
Yeah. I wasn't really a big fan of it. They're like these little gnats that are flying around. I'm trying to
That's
get
all it.
them.
We've been having it's fruit fly season here in the Northwest, and if you have any sort of like food scraps that are out in the open, they will find it.
Oh, that might be what these are actually. Now that I think about it. So there. Um, new diet news. As you know, I've gone through many diets in my time. Here's the new one, Ben. And I might have already told you about this, because I mentioned it, to because I talk about going to the dentist already.
You did not, but coincidentally, I went to the dentist yesterday.
I went to the
I didn't have
dentist,
an appointment. I just wanted to say hi.
and the hygienist said, "Oh, hi, dentist. Huh, you ain't getting these, buddy." And then I have a dead tooth right here.
A dead tooth?
Yeah, needs to be taken out.
Ew.
And I have a couple of choices. My choice is
Pliers or a rope
a,
and door?
a brick. Well, I could leave it. I could leave it as a gap, but I'm not going to do that. Right.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So my choice is a bridge, like I have on this side, where there's a tooth that's missing, and then two other teeth that kind of are a cap.
Okay.
Um, so, and a spoiler alert, that's the one I'm going with. There's a root canal option, um, which might save the tooth, but if it doesn't, then I'll have to do one of the other two anyway.
Yeah.
And then a implant. And the thing about the implant is that if I was going to do the implant, I would be without a tooth there for a while, because they need to do a bone graft, and then they need to like do a couple of other things. Whereas the bridge, in and out in one day, baby.
Yeah. And is the bridge? I'm sorry you have to go through that. It sounds like
Yeah.
again.
Hmm.
But is the bridge something that you can remove like when you
No,
need
no,
to?
it's a permanent
It's a
bridge.
permanent thing. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, and here's the thing: if something were to happen to the other two teeth, then something would going to happen. Eventually,
Yeah.
probably, it depends on tooth technology catching up with me. I'll have a ceramic jaw or no teeth, also possible.
So how did you find out that it was a dead tooth? Was it just painful in a certain way?
No, no, it was. I do vaguely remember it being painful in the past,
Yeah.
but it's just the X-ray. If you see it, um,
Yes.
there's a big pocket of decay
Yeah.
at the bottom of it, and like I don't feel it really.
Yeah.
It's got a crown on it, so I don't really feel it anyway. But anyway, the reason I pointed out is that the hygienist talked to me, and
Hygienist.
right now hygienist,
I think it's
yeah,
just hygienist and not
dental hygienist.
hygienicist.
I said hygienist, but yeah, dental hygienist.
My
Uh,
hygiene and assist. Anyway.
so talk to me about it, and uh, instead of getting the loop that pulls the dental floss through and all that, I went out and I got a uh, water pick, and
I used to have one of those.
I'm starting to use it. So okay, so then it's weird, right?
Oh
Using it
yeah.
is a little weird. You have to kind of open your mouth and let the water kind
Are
of
you?
dribble
Do
out.
you have it attached to your sink or is it in your shower?
I have mine is okay. This is actually great because you're going to answer a question for me. Mine is, I guess, portable.
Okay.
It has a reservoir that you fill.
Gotcha. When when
So
I had my water
yeah,
pick, my dentist recommended getting the kind that you can install in your shower. So when you take it, because it's a messy procedure, right?
yeah.
It can get messy. So my dentist was like, just buy the shower kind, install it in your shower, and then just every morning when you take a shower, use the water pick.
How do
And
you
it is
install it in your shower?
um take the shower head off, put this little thing on. It's got a little knob on it, so you have the water pick hanging in your shower, and then it uses the water that's coming out of the shower to be in the pick,
Oh my gosh.
and then so you're
A
sure.
non-electric version.
Yeah, no, it's non-electric. It's
Oh,
it
Ben,
works
I wish I
purely
had known about
it
this.
worked purely by water pressure.
I should have talked to you ahead of time. Because one of the problems is that the water that I'm using with it
Yeah,
is, I'm using my filtered water, but it's cold, so it is
yeah,
uncomfortable on my teeth.
yeah.
Hmm. Well, gosh, maybe I'll think about it. But I have it now anyway, and it's cool. Um, but here's the other thing. The second part of it is increasing the frequency in which I brush, right? And so what I'm doing is I'm brushing 3 times a day now. And
Three.
I used to eat snacks all the time.
Right.
Instead, what I'm doing is I'm eating breakfast and then brushing my teeth. I'm eating lunch, then brushing my teeth. Eating dinner, then brushing my teeth before I go to bed.
When do you
Um,
use a water pick all 3 times?
no, I only use it at night before I go to bed. I think it'd be too much to use it all three
And
times.
is this like the fact that you have a dead tooth? Did your hygienist be like, you really need to up your brushing
Um,
frequency?
well, no. The dead tooth isn't like a big, it's my gums, just making sure that my gums are healthy,
Yeah.
etc. So, but the big thing is that because I'm brushing my teeth, I don't want to snack because I've brushed my teeth and stuff doesn't taste good.
that's
So it's a
that
really interesting psychological
that's
thing.
one of the ways that I prevent myself from snacking late at night, which is once I brush my teeth, that is it. No more food until the
Yep.
following morning.
Now, what I am doing, as you can see, is I'm taking out a piece of Trident gum
Brought to you by Trident.
because
To
that's the
get a
other
discount on
piece.
your Trident, go to Trident.com and put in promo code GudeLaurance and you'll get nothing. And they'll ask you why you're there.
In fact, we we still don't have a Patreon, everyone. Again,
You just
remember,
have a big bucket of Trident gum.
no, it's a big bucket of trash
Okay.
that I threw the packet of Trident gum into
Well, because it was an
because
empty packet.
I just took the last piece of the
Gotcha.
packet.
That
Oh
makes
no!
more
Oh
sense.
no!
You didn't hit the space bar, did you?
I didn't hit the space bar, but I'm getting no signal on the other one. Oh, it's still recording though. See, I
Yay!
did it right. But yeah, it went to sleep. I woke it up again. Um, so anyway, uh, the big news though is that I don't really pay attention to the news in the way that most people do. So I'm not sure what the big thing is right now.
I don't really like. I kind of pay attention, but it's all there's just so
Mm,
much, so many different things every day. Not there's not one like the Epstein's thing is just kind of like, per, you know, permeates all the news these days.
hmm Yeah, it's one of those weird things where everyone pretty much believes it.
Yeah, and any
Um,
other like policy decision or edict coming out of the White House, people are just like, oh, this is just a distraction from the
yeah.
other story.
Although I will say that there are interesting things afoot as far as Texas and Illinois goes, which I think you've heard of
I
probably.
am aware of what is happening.
So, living in Illinois, it is one of those things where they're like talking about sending the FBI,
Yeah.
and that's going to get interesting, I think. Okay, so
So for those
for
for
those of
those who
you
are
who are
listening in
listening
the
to this,
future
yeah, exactly. So,
and aren't putting this
my
show
under
in the context of the news.
my understanding is this: there is a push in Texas for there to be a vote about redrawing some districts,
Yeah.
which will then give the Republicans a majority in a
So
place which is illegal,
what's going on is
apparently.
that Texas redraws its congressional districts after, every 10 years after the census comes out.
Hmm
And they last redrew their districts in 2021. Some may notice that the timestamp on this show is 2025. And so President Trump was like, I want 5 new seats out of Texas because he's got such a narrow House majority,
hmm
historically narrow House majority, that he's afraid that after the midterms in 2026, he will lose his slim majority. So he wants Governor Greg Abbott of Texas to he convened a special session of the Texas state legislature, and they drew these new maps behind closed doors with no input from anybody other than those who are concerned with getting 5 new Republican seats in Texas, and to prevent the vote from happening because it's Texas, and so that even if the Democrats voted all the same, it would still pass because the Texas legislature is largely Republican. To prevent them from voting, to prevent them from having a quorum, the Texas Democrats have fled the state in secret under the dark of night to Illinois.
And it's one of those situations where their claim is that this is an illegal act that's being um, done, and therefore they cannot, in good conscience, participate in it,
Yeah.
and therefore they're leaving, etc. In which case, somebody said that they were going to call the FBI to get them back. And again, it's one of those things where there is a known feud between our governor, J.B. Pritzker, and the president, Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
Um, and so strange things are afoot
Yeah,
regarding
that's
that.
it's pretty terrible. There, maybe you heard that the hotel that they're staying in Chicago had to be evacuated because there was a bomb threat.
Hmm Yeah.
Um, I think it was either Governor Abbott or um, AG Paxton of Texas who called on his citizens to quote hunt them down,
hmm
which I don't know if you've ever been hunting in Texas, but it's not, they don't bring the animals back alive, is the point.
Oh, I'm sure some people in Texas bring the animals back alive, Ben.
I'm sure there's
But
one or two people out there, but they're not the ones who are going to be
when
going
you hunt
down.
something down, it's a different implication often, I would say.
Yeah. So,
So
but in a response to this, Governor Newsom of California said he's going to do the same thing. And then the MAGA sphere started flipping out, which is just, of course, they were.
he's also going to hunt down the people that left Texas
He's going to help them.
because
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I don't know how many more
Oh,
legislative legislative seats, congressional seats California would contribute if they did the same thing Texas is doing, but it's probably
oh,
not
I see.
insignificant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny because there was like this one Republican congressman who like tweeted how Newsom is overstepping his bounds and what he's doing is completely illegal and against the rule of America, and like other people are like is this you who also like supported what Abbott's doing in Texas?
hmm
Because I mean, depending on these people's sense of shame or hypocrisy is not a good tactic.
Yeah, yeah. I feel as though and I think we've talked about this before, but people say that folks are, often left leaning because of their, emotions and things like that. Uh, in general, now this isn't always the case, but in general, I've ended up on the left for things because I am following logic stuff. Now, there are some times where that's gotten me in trouble. Sometimes when I have said things that have made people unhappy with me. Uh, Again, we go back to the Illinois primary where I got obsessed with the fact that it was actually not possible for Bernie Sanders to have won it because of the way that they had things set up.
Yeah.
But you know, um, it didn't
Because the
matter. I still
establishment doesn't
voted.
like Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, I still voted for Clinton. Uh, and this is the thing. I've always voted for the winners in the places that I've lived because I've been intentional about where I'm living. Uh,
Right.
Nowadays,
Or as opposed to being intentional about just voting for whoever wins in your district or your state.
exactly. Yes, that's right. Um, I've mentioned this before. I'm not going to say their name just because they don't want to be tied to this. But I got into an argument, as we will remember, um, when George Bush won against Al Gore. No, it wasn't even when George Bush won against Al Gore. It's when George Bush won against what's that other guy? The guy he
Oh, in
ran
the
against the
the
second time.
2004 election,
Yeah,
he was running against
Kerry. Is that right?
John Kerry.
John Kerry.
Yeah.
I did not vote for John Kerry. I voted for Ralph Nader. And one of our mutual friends was like mad at me for it.
Yeah.
And it was like John Kerry still won. And, you know, you seem to be,
Did you?
I remember saying,
I'm
you
assuming
seem to be a logical person.
this was in the general election, not the primary.
Yeah, that's right. In the general election. I did not vote. I rarely voted in primaries when I was living in Seattle. Um, the first, I remember this because the first primary that I voted in was the primary uh, with Barack Obama.
Mm.
So, but he won anyway. I'm kidding. Everyone, haha. Uh, no, this is a crazy thing. I was like looking up on Wikipedia. I'm like, have there ever been any presidents from Chicago? And and I realized that I was discounting Barack Obama because I I imagine now here's the thing, folks. I realize that he also like ordered drone strikes and stuff like that, all that. But I remember his
He wasn't perfect.
presidency like like a dream. Like
Well,
a did that ever happen
I mean,
really? Because it
it's
was a
because
nice.
we've dealt with this horrible person in the White House that just the decency and tact of the
Mhm.
Obamas, it just sort of really stands out in retrospect.
The fact that he was funny,
Yeah.
that was something.
And he drank beer, right? Like he invited people to the White House Rose Garden, which is now a parking lot, and
Oh
for,
yeah,
to just have a pint and talk things out.
that was something. It was really interesting seeing the people who were trying to be even-handed with that. Each president makes their own mark on the Rose Garden, and
Yeah.
here are some things that that kind of thing. It was weird, but yeah, I mean, this is the sad whenever someone said you can't buy class. Now I can't just not buy class. I am not a classy
I can't
guy. I'm a
even rent it.
schlocky guy. I'm a you know I mean, look at my mustache. Can
It's pretty
By the way,
pretty significant mustache slash chops you got the going on there.
I love the chops, Ben. They're back.
Chop stash.
Yeah.
What
My
do you call facial hair like that?
what, these
Is
right
that
here?
is that a proper name for when your chops connect with your stash in a
Yeah, see,
with a like a, I'm not gonna call it a porn stash. I'd call it maybe like a biker stash. You know what that looks like? Harry Shearer's character from Spinal Tap.
my right now it looks like I'm Harry Shearer's character from Spinal Tap. Maybe.
I think he does the same thing.
Cuz
New
see,
Spinal Tap movie coming out. Have you heard
yeah, I
this?
heard about that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you've got a good point though, because I think mutton chops are just the sideburns that show up over here, right?
Yeah.
They're different than what this is. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure it has a name.
Harry Shearer's is a bit more full in this part,
Hmm.
but that's what he does. That's what he's got going on.
Now, if there's ever a new mask mandate, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut right here. It's going to be the exact same, but there's going to be a space for my mask to go.
I'm looking forward to the new
Uh,
Spinal Tap movie. I saw a trailer
I,
for
I
it.
I could have sworn that you were going to say I'm looking forward to a new mask mandate. Let's get it going. Um, I haven't seen the previews for it.
Derek
I don't think.
Smalls is his character's name. Uh, I am looking forward to a new Mask Mandate because I'm just tired of looking at people's faces
Hmm. That I know that's right.
and getting
Uh,
sick.
oh, I saw a comedian on. I think she was on 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown, where she mentioned that she found out that she was deaf during the pandemic because she couldn't understand people anymore, and she had been reading their lips,
Yeah,
which makes sense to me. I don't know.
I get it. I mean, I definitely found out that there's a name for this, and I don't know what it is, but basically it's face blindness.
Yeah,
So like
I know what you mean.
I even if somebody's wearing a hat and or sunglasses and if it's a friend of mine walking towards me on the sidewalk, I will not recognize him. The same is true for masks. Like I was walking home one day and this must have been like mid to late 2020 or early 2021, like before but when we were still wearing masks outside, right?
Hmm.
And Chris McDonald comes walking up towards me and he's got his mask on and he's wearing a hat. He might have even been wearing sunglasses. And I just like, I had no idea that it was him. And we've known Chris for 20
Yeah.
plus years, right? Yeah. And I just like totally, he had to like flag me down because he recognized me even though I was doing the same thing. I was wearing a mask and sunglasses.
I just want to share with you how much I've grown as a person, because I listened to your entire story without saying and or sunglasses. Oh, that sounds like a promotion I'd be into. Okay, so boy, I don't know if he wants us calling him out like this on the pod. But I'm gonna ask anyway. You can decide whether or not to bleep this. I don't think we need to bleep it. Does he still work for that company that does the art program?
I don't think so because I
Okay.
don't know what you're talking about. But
All right. Well, I'll talk
he
to you about it after the thing.
when I saw him, he worked for, and I can't remember if it was the first giant on internet company that occupied the Northwest, or what is now the largest internet company that now occupies the Northwest. One of those two behemoths.
Oh, okay.
He was a tech writer for.
Because I was a tech writer. Yeah, I'll talk to you after the thing because kind of interesting. Um, yeah. Also, famously, the Naked Dead guy in our
Yeah.
sketch, Naked Dead guy.
Well, he's your naked dead guy now.
Yeah. Um, I still I still think that that would have gone even better if we had had chairs. It's never gonna leave my mind.
Because we stood while we were doing the
We had to stand
performance.
because we were in a dance studio and they had gotten rid of their chairs. And it had not uh dawned on us
Yeah.
that we would not be able to find chairs. Um Here's another thing that I wanted to talk to you about. I think we might have even talked about this before, but I love how, like, you know how every once in a while you're outside of your own body and you're just looking at how you're doing something. You're like, where? How did I get here? What is this that I'm doing? I I still remember one of the most satisfying things that I've ever been through is when you and I were doing tech for one of our things, and we had been doing it now for, but at that time for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
But no, 10 years. We'd doing it for a decade. And we're like, okay, so the spray's probably going to go over this way. I'm going to go over here. You're going to be hitting me, hitting me, hitting me. And then we talked through it and we were in and out in like a minute
Yeah. Like you do.
for amazing chaos. And we were pretty much right.
Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah, this is a
I'm assuming that it was Michael Hayes who was the tech person that we were dealing with at the time,
most likely, yeah.
who was also like very much like had worked with us before and knew what we were doing, and even if he was confused, would just make up something on the fly.
Oh my gosh. Again, shout out to Michael Hayes. Saved us from the Tacoma on the Tacoma rap
Because he shut
where
the song
we
off.
no, well, no, the um we messed up.
Yeah.
I messed
And
up.
it completely
Let's be real.
derailed us. No, I
I
messed
messed
up
up
too.
and he shut the music off and then restarted it.
Yeah.
And
And we've
and it worked. The crowd
they eventually learned to love it because it wasn't very long. And
yeah.
it was dirty AF, and
Man, I gotta say this. Anytime that we did a thing with Tacoma, something went wrong.
you're not wrong. That is actually
Yeah.
of the two things that I can remember us involving Tacoma. They both got derailed.
And my Tacoma shirt eventually got ripped at the City Museum.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, by the way, City Museum, one of the things that I definitely, wanted to stay in the St. Louis area for, um, the thing that made it easy for me to let go was when they got picked up by an amusement park company and they started doing rules. Rules, Ben.
What like I don't remember there being no rules, but like what sort of rules that
Pretty much no rules. Like
just
you
go
could
in
just
and
run
go out?
around,
Yeah.
right? Um, Now you had to there had to be an attendant at the slides. So everything okay, everything that they did, right? All the rules sound fine. sound like a good idea.
Like they were
And
written by a lawyer whose intent is to keep the company from getting sued.
right. And so this is one of the things is I was talking to somebody right around the time that this all happened. And I said, right around the time I was like, so do you guys get sued? She's like, oh, we get sued all the time. That was like a thing. That was just an operating cost. So,
I mean, because
you
you
know,
ripped your shirt at Studio Museum, I can see that
no.
the same way that you ripped your shirt there,
Oh,
somebody might have actually gotten cut or sliced really badly. Because maybe
yeah.
it was like a screw that was sticking out, or a nail, a wayward
Someone's
nail.
child gets lost, or a guy like me gets stuck in one of the tubes.
There was a pass through that we went through that really felt like someone is gonna get stuck in this, because I felt cramped.
They
I'm not
have
a big guy,
extraction teams.
but
You're
like,
surprisingly the thin white Duke, Ben Lawrence, took the mantle from David Bowie
and
on his passing.
I felt concerned about this pass through, this subterranean interlocking caverns of, just going from one
It's
part
a
of the building
great
to the other.
place. It's a wonderful place. Again, not thrilled with the management
Yeah,
at this point, but the place itself is still wonderful.
yeah.
Um, and so yeah, there's not an equivalent that I found here in Chicago yet, but Chicago has so many things, but I really like it here.
There
Very happy to be in Chicago.
there's news coming out of the Pacific Science Center.
Oh,
Um,
I
they
like the Pacific Science Center.
Do you remember the dinosaurs, the animatronic
Yeah, of
dinosaurs
course.
at the Pacific Science
Yeah.
Center? Well, say goodbye, because they are going away.
Oh
They are
no.
rendering their dinosaur exhibit extinct. And do you know why, Paul? Try to guess why they are removing their
Okay,
dinosaur exhibit.
this is why I think they're going to be removing them. They are no longer scientifically accurate.
Give the man a cigar. That is the correct answer. That exhibit
And
is over 40 years old, and advancements have been made in what dinosaurs actually looked like.
and bless them. I think that's wonderful.
But a lot of people are upset because, like, a lot of people are like, I have such fond memories of these dinosaurs, even if they are anatomically incorrect, even if they are scaly and not feathery. I don't care. I love them. Let me buy one.
And they won't let them buy them.
I don't think so. I don't know what's happening to them.
It's this is the thing. I'll just point out that this has been on another podcast that I listen to. There's a podcast that I really like. It's called Not Another D&D Podcast, or NAD Pod, and they do a thing where they talk about the episode and other stuff. And one of the other stuff that they talked about was Woodsy Owl. Do you remember Woodsy Owl, Ben? He
Um,
was
it
part
was
of,
Yeah, it's sort of like a Smokey the Bear kind of character.
right, a Smokey the Bear analog. Give a hoot, don't pollute
Exactly.
was
Yeah.
the thing. And because we were explaining to Betty recently about how we, our generation growing up, had to be taught because
Don't
our
throw
parents
crap out your
didn't do.
car window.
Don't throw things out the car window. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Because we would. Do you remember throwing things out the car window? I do.
I don't think I ever did that. I think my parents were very
Maybe
much don't litter, but there's a
Jennifer said that her parents were the same way.
yeah.
Uh, so go ahead. Sorry.
There's an episode of Mad Men where Don Draper takes his family to a picnic in like a park, and at the very end, like he finishes drinking this beer, and then just like this pastoral moment of he's looking over this green pasture. They just had a pleasant family picnic, and he just chucks the beer can into the woods.
Yeah.
And it's
So,
like totally normal for that time, but watching it,
yep.
in a contemporary time, I'm like, oh god. At least
So
go
there
home
were
and throw that aluminum can away.
on the first episode, I remember this. they had a thing where the kids put these plastic bags over their heads, and the mom's like, "Don't do that. I'm, you're gonna wrinkle my dress or
If
something
I
like
find my
that." Like,
dry cleaning out on,
yeah.
out on the bed.
So, but what I was gonna say is, so they read a thing about Woodsy Owl, and did you know? Do you know about what happened with Woodsy?
What happened with Wood? Did
Now,
Woodsy
yeah. Now,
misbehave?
granted, my research is all from another podcast, listening to another podcast, read a Wikipedia article. But the basic idea is, it was the government, uh, Fish and Wildlife, or someone
Yeah.
put it out, or Forestry
Yeah,
Service,
that
or
makes sense.
whatever. And the logging industry felt like Woodsy was, uh, like getting too down on logging and stuff like that, and apparently lobbied to have the character retired. And they read a thing that was in Wikipedia. You can find it in Wikipedia. Go ahead and look, folks, about how to dispose of the Woodsy the Owl costumes. And it read very much like the flag code. You have to burn it until there's no trace left in the presence of a member of the Forestry Service, which I thought was
Just
interesting.
to make sure they all got destroyed.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, and speaking about that, there's something about the redesign of the Rose Garden that somebody posted on Reddit. I don't know if you've heard about it or not, but apparently there are depictions of an American flag in that patio.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And somebody was like, "So here's a flag code question.
Yeah.
Is the flag supposed to be on the ground and stepped on?"
Well, see, that's the thing. I don't know every little bit of the flag code, but like
Hmm.
the flag clothes that people wear,
Hmm.
I think go against parts of the flag code. The
Yeah.
U.S. flag bikinis, I don't think are allowed via the federal government's flag code.
And there's a way that, yeah. So I don't know. I'm the thin blue line and the thin red line and all those. Granted, I was in the Air Force in the 90s. We had a cursory thing about this is what you do with the flag and don't do with the flag, etc. I feel like those variations of it are skirting a line that, you know, um, might be questionable to some people,
I don't.
but
Well, see, like, and here's also the thing: does the U.S. flag code dictate what any U.S. citizen can do, or what U.S. government officials and agencies do?
it's supposed to be a guideline for citizens as well, for
No.
sure. Tying a flag to the back of your truck so that it drags on the ground, not a great thing. Tying it in the air so that it gets rips on it, also not a good. All these things are.
Well, there's also like you can't fly it at night unless it's lit or something like that.
Mhm.
My
Yep.
dad had a U.S. My dad, former National Guardsman, flew the flag on our front porch. All throughout my childhood, and didn't take it down every day. It stayed up 24/7.
Did he have a light on it?
I don't. I think the porch light got turned off at some like when we went to bed.
Mm,
Yeah. I would like to note, however, nobody came to say anything.
yeah. Well, sometimes it only serves people when it serves their agenda, Ben. That's the problem.
That's the story of America.
Agenda Ben. Uh, what's he
Genda
planning?
benda. Um.
Agenda Ben. That's your garbage pail, kid. Ben. It's got a photo from you from Brent or Brenda as a caricature,
Oh my god.
and it's a. Oh my God, Agenda Benda. That's Ben. My gosh. Uh, instead of Brent or Brenda, Agenda Brenda. No, that doesn't work either. It could,
Because
but
you're no, you're playing off Brent Bennett.
oh, speaking about which, have you seen Alan Dershowitz trying to get a pierogi?
That sounds like the setup to a joke, but no, I have not seen that.
Oh, there's a there's a thing where he went to a farmer's market and
I've seen JD
attempted
Vance try to get a
to,
donut.
yeah, yeah, that's one of the things also. I mean, people are talking about who the who the who the person that will, carry the torch for the Republican Party when uh, Donald Trump is no longer president.
Yeah.
However, that would happen, and I was going to say at the end of his term, but hey, let's not be too hasty. Um, and people are saying, and my response is, well, they've already kind of teed up JD Vance for doing this, and they're like, well, he can't really carry a cult of personality, and I do understand that. He is not as, and I've mentioned this before. Um, Donald Trump is very much similar to that guy from The Wire, who they thought he was a politician, and they thought that they were going to get rid of him,
Carcetti?
but no, Carcetti was the guy who was, I think, trying to get the other guy, the guy who said who like she
Oh,
that
that guy.
that guy.
Yeah, okay.
And I only said she, I think, so I think we're
She.
good.
That's his thing. He
But
was
that
in the
guy,
residence.
they tried to get him out. Yeah, he was. I like that guy. Name escapes me. But they tried to get him out as a politician, and he still made it through. And that's kind of, I mean, that is how. This is the thing, is that people at one point in time said, well, Donald Trump is not a politician. You can't say that about him anymore, I think. I mean, granted, yes, he was not a career politician, but once you become president, you get to call yourself a politician, I think.
Yeah. It's yeah, that's one of the things
And other people get to call you a
that's
politician.
one of the things that's upsetting his base is because he was like supposed to go there as a non-politician to drain the
Mm.
swamp, and he's not really doing that
I mean,
according to their.
but if you are trying to destroy the federal government, on the other hand, that is going pretty well.
But I
Um,
heard that one of the torchbearers that may succeed Donald Trump is none other than Donald Trump Jr.
oh,
That's a good first reaction.
I'd prefer, and well, and this is the thing, is that maybe my preference means that they're doing it right. I was gonna say I think I prefer JD Vance to Donald Trump, because JD Vance has a like you think he's got a little like the boy who stole the fudge thing about him. It's like, he has a little bit of a sneaky kind of vibe. I'm all for, and this goes back to, preferring Democrats over Republicans. I prefer it when people are sly and sneaky and hide what's going on rather than blatantly or like, this is what I'm doing. And he hasn't done a very good job of being either sly or sneaky. So I'm not a big fan.
No, I don't.
And
You're
maybe
right.
the fact that I'm not a big fan means that he'll be great for that base.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. I think Donald Trump is a I hope is a singularly unique figure in
Hmm.
that he's able to command this quote unquote army, this army of supporters, who will unflinchingly do or believe anything he says. You know, I don't know if JD has that capability. I don't even know if John Jr. has that capability. Right? I don't think. I think the only people who might be able to do something like that are other influencers who have made a name for themselves. I'm thinking of your Joe Rogans. I'm thinking of your who name another like right wing influencer.
Geez.
Charlie Kirk's or Ben Shapiro's.
Yeah. Here's what I kind of want. Um,
By the way,
I would
Catherine
I
says
would
hello.
oh, hello, Catherine. Wait, did she? Oh, I was like, where is she? Um, uh, I'm
She's right
thinking,
behind you, Paul.
oh no, um, I, the blue collar comedy tour. You remember that?
I do indeed.
I think what we need for the United States of America is a folksy, conservative yet cool guy, like a Ron White type of. Even though I don't know if Ron White is really conservative, and this is what I mean, not a guy who appeals to conservatives but is not fully conservative, like a
So,
I don't care.
a
I don't
moderate?
care. It's a special type of thing. It's a special type of Southern, like, I don't care what y'all do in your bedrooms, to be honest. I just want gas to be 350 a gallon again.
That's a
That
little
kind
too
of.
normal for what the Republican Party has become these days.
Yeah, but I think they can be
You gotta be
shamed.
all in against immigration and all in against transgendered people.
We
That's how
need
you rile up the base.
we need to get back to uh union guys. We That's it. Okay, this is
You
it.
want Hank
We
Hill to be president, don't you?
No, I think what we need is we need the Dropkick Murphys as a group as the president. Um
Co-presidents,
just
I'm in favor.
Yeah, yeah. And again, this is what we need. We need a working class uh pro union whatever thing. And I'm not saying that's who I want as president. I'm saying that's kind of what
Yeah.
we need as president.
I mean,
Someone to get the United States back to its kind of
if
um you know
if we're able to have free and open elections in 2028, and I wish I was kind of joking when I say that, um, I have no idea who the Republicans will run. Like, because they want Trump. They want Trump until Trump dies. I want Trump to be dead in office as well, but our timelines are different. But it looks like there's this movement in New York
Paul is
City.
staring blankly at the screen, jaw agape. Ben, come on.
There's a there's a
Uh
there's a there's a
yeah.
movement in New York City where a far left progressive guy, we've talked about him before, uh Zoran Mamdani won the primary,
Yes.
and so I've heard some commentators say that this is sort of like, is it called a watershed moment, where this is like the first part of like a wave of progressives getting elected to office, because now this
Look,
guy has
I
shown how it can be done.
if a progressive runs for president, I would vote for them at the primary. I would vote for them, at for president. I would totally do that because I like progressive ideals and stuff like that. The When I say that America needs a folksy unionist kind of guy, and I'm saying guy like a dude, um, just because I'm trying to imagine what would get all of America kind of on the same page again. It would
Yeah,
be difficult.
and that's not going to happen. But
Yeah. But that would be it. Um it would be basically you would take Donald Trump as he is, uh make fun of you know the handicapped less, people with disabilities, Ben, is what I'm talking about. Um, make him less, you know, dog whistly or outright, you know, courting racists. You mute all of those hard edges, You add a little bit of, working people deserve a fair shake, and I think you can get, you know, the majority of people to at least stop being so horrible in public.
I hope you're right.
Maybe,
This
maybe
is
not, but
this
I,
Pandora's box has been open, man, and I
yeah,
don't think once people have received that permission and that sort of leeway to be out and open as these as racist and homophobic and
yeah,
transphobic,
you make it
that's
not
you can't
cool
put that
to
back in the
do.
box. You know who I think is
Like
going to be if Trump's like, I'm gonna pass the torch to someone. Do you know who I think it's gonna be? I
Evil
think it's
Knievel.
I think it's only if he were still alive.
Yeah, I know.
Kristi
Can't do
Noem.
it.
I think Kristi Noem is Trump's successor,
Oh, interesting.
and it'll work.
Now,
She'll get elected, and the Republicans will have that bragging right to say they were the first party to elect a woman
Ben,
to president.
Ben, I think that she could do it. I think that you're right. Now, now, would I rather see President Crockett? Yes.
See, that's the thing. They're talking about Jasmine Crockett. They're talking about AOC. Those are the two progressives I've heard whose names have been like bandied about in
Well,
terms of like high office.
my whole thing is that the I believe wholeheartedly the future of the United States uh, is rooted in. I mean, the past already is, but I think the future is rooted in and should be guided by Black culture. That is my thought as far as how we make it to the future. And does that mean that I won't be around? Yes, I'm not going to be around. Not neither will you. None of us are going to be around eventually. We're talking about the future.
Decades and decades and decades into the future.
That's what will in my opinion, I really believe that is what will save the United States of America.
Yeah, I
But
think it's gonna get
what we're
fractured
living
first.
through what we're living through right now are the death throes of white
Yeah.
supremacy. So, and again, probably not going to be around for that either, but the two things are going to come together, I
Uh,
believe.
I want to believe you when you say we are in the death throes of white supremacy and not the heyday, because it
Oh, not the heyday, Ben. Not the
certainly
heyday.
feels like white supremacy is having a really good run right now.
It is it it's very much if you've ever seen this meme, it's when the family is really happy that um grandma is up and talking and you're the nurse. Uh, if somebody's been sick for a long time and all of a sudden they're rallying, lots of times it's not because things are going well. Um, the reason I think that white supremacy is not doing well right now is because you can see it. Back back in the heyday, it just was ever present, and you didn't have to ask about it. It didn't have to assert itself because it was just there.
You kept your
And there's
KKK robes in the closet as opposed to like wearing your racism out in public.
now it's very much the whole kicking the hornet's nest, everything like that. People are seeing that they're going to be losing power, and so they're now very public, flexing muscles, trying their best to. I mean, this is what the whole redistricting thing is
Yeah.
about. I mean,
No, I believe you there. Like it is a desperate grab because for power because their policies are so unpopular.
my understanding is that Texas is a minority state right now. That is my my understanding is that
A minority
um,
majority.
the minority majority is now in effect, and that's why they're having to redraw stuff.
Well, once
I could be
Dean
wrong on
Cain
that,
puts his
but
ICE agent uniform on and arrests all the brown people, they won't have to worry about that anymore.
Dean Cain is Superman from Lois and Clark. Is
He
that right?
was, and news came out that he's joined ICE.
I
So
was thinking of Herman Cain at first, and so
Herman
that
Cain got
got
his
me a
own
little.
subreddits based on what happened to
Howard
him.
Howard Dean and Herman Cain got into a transporter accident, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
So listen, we're doing great, is all I'm saying. Once again, I'm happy to be talking to you. Happy to have had this time. How's it happening? Keep it wrong. Hopefully, you and I are free and easy in the future, and no one has used our podcast as a way to throw us into prison.
And speaking of the future, I will see you in the future on the next episode of the GudeLaurance podcast.
Thank you, Ben.